Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bee. I'm the pair of disembodied hands, formerly known as Iris, and currently you're looking at all of the makeup I own. I mean, in a really poorly presented way, but we're going to go through it today because there's a little bit too much of it, and I think that there are some things that I can get rid of. In fact, I know there are. I already have a couple things in mind that I'll be getting rid of, but the world's nothing if not humbling, so there might be others as well. I'm going to start by just sorting through things a bit, and we will be back in just a second, I think with face stuff. Okay, so I more or less just dumped out my face drawers. Um, let's just sort. So I knew this was hanging out somewhere. Okay, so now that things are a little bit more organized, I know that I want to get rid of this. This is the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. And the whole purpose of this for me is that it's easy to bring with me, but the lid broke. I mean, this lid snapped off. It has two hinges and neither of them is currently attached, so time for that to go. This is also getting quite old, which is I think why it snapped. I would have bought this in January of 2017, I believe, so it is time. It has served its purpose. I'm gonna make my little pile over here. That is in frame, great. Okay, as far as other stuff goes, this is my Project Pan, so of course that's staying. Concealers, yes, I can use both of those. This little Benefit primer sample will probably leave soon because it's just not very big, and I like it, so I'll probably go through it pretty quickly. Two primers, a foundation-ish, it's a tinted moisturizer, but I only have one of those, so that's all good. This Wet n Wild, I only have one setting spray, so I will be keeping that. This is a glowy bronzer. It's a little on the orange side, if I remember correctly, but not too bad in the big scheme of things. Yeah, I can make that work. And one of my goals for this spring is to figure out how to actually use bronzer in a way that looks good and flattering on me personally. So that's definitely staying. This is new. You've seen this a lot on my channel in recent weeks. It's also what makes me feel a lot better about getting rid of this powder, because I do have a pressed powder in here that I like and enjoy and works for me. That's good. This is also fairly new, and I've also been loving this. It's very pretty. This is for Benefit. It's the Cheek Leader set. If you haven't realized by now, I'm probably getting rid of almost nothing in this category. I have two blush sticks. This one I've been using quite a bit recently and actually really enjoy. This one I'm not quite as wild about. This is in Sparkling Rose from e.l.f. and they are not joking when they say sparkle, but I don't know. Because I don't have anything super similar, I want to continue to mess around with this. The formula is really nice with the exception of the sparkle, so I think that I can use this and enjoy it, and when it goes bad, I won't feel any desire to replace it. This weird little thing is actually just one of those cases that you can buy for travel, and it is filled with some broken eyeshadows that I've been using as a loose blush. I really don't have a ton left. I imagine that if I use this consistently for a week or two, I could probably finish it off. And because of that, I think that's what I'm going to do. It's not a great color, but it's definitely not a bad one either. Let me just see if I can get a little bit. It's kind of awkward to swatch, but I don't even know if you can see that. It's a little bit of a peachy shine. It's nice. It's nothing that I'm wild about, but I would prefer to finish it over toss it. I've got these two Wet n Wild Hummingbird blushes, a peachy one and a pink one. Really enjoyed those, definitely keeping. This Essence Pure Nude highlighter I like during the summer, and this is actually getting a little bit older too, so I suspect this is probably the last summer that I will have it, but it is pretty. It's just a little too dark for me some times of year, including this one. I don't know why this isn't showing up on camera at all. It tends to be too dark for me from about late September through May to early June, but during those 3 months when it does work, I really do enjoy it. My Wet n Wild Peachy blush, keeping that. This Bare Minerals blush is fairly new and it's very pretty. I'm trying to pan this Tarte blush this year. And then my Wet n Wild highlighting palettes. We can talk about my plans. I want to not even depot, I want to repress some things into individual eyeshadow pans. I have them coming to me soon. I think they should actually get here sometime this week. And this is one of the shades that I want to repress. I mean, I am not going to use this huge pan of highlighter. It is much too dark for my skin tone. I mean, clearly, that is not a highlighter on me personally. I have been mixing it with bronzer, but I think I prefer it as just an eyeshadow. It's this really nice, warm, brown, copper, bronze shade. It's sort of right in the middle. I think you could reasonably describe it as any of those three things. I do think it's really pretty. I just don't think that I will remember to use it if it is in here. And I want to get a little bit more into playing. I also want to get a little bit more into making palettes of my own out of singles and soon-to-be singles that are repressed from various palettes. And I think this would be a great contender. So that is the plan. And when the stuff comes in to do it, which should hopefully be this week, I will begin that journey with y'all. So far my declutter is getting rid of one item. That's kind of how I expected this to go. Okay. Okay, so we've moved from face to eyes. First we have brow products. I have a pencil and a designated powder. I will be keeping both of those. They're both in the shade blonde. I think I would maybe this year like to try a pencil in auburn. I feel like that might be a little bit of a better match for my hair, but both of these are totally fine and I really like them. I also use this to fill in my brows pretty regularly. I use this top shade, which has a loose piece, so I'm not going to open it and swatch, but know that it is a pretty good match. And if you really want to see it in action, you can choose practically any of my tutorials, and there will probably be an appearance of this shade. So all of those are keeps, just sort of basic things that I use to put together looks. I've got my two primers. I have a glitter primer and an eyeshadow primer. Both of those are staying. I have liners and mascara. I have one pencil liner, one liquid liner, and one mascara. I'm sure that I have another mascara that's unopened somewhere, but it's an unopened mascara. Clearly I'm not going to be decluttering it, so that was easy enough. All of these can stay. I have three sort of single shadows. This is Urban Decay Mildew. I actually just got this from Influencer today, actually, and I used it. It's really pretty. It's metallic green. So I'm going to be keeping that and playing around with it some more. I did use it today. I think it worked really well. I'm really impressed with this. I like it a lot. I wasn't sold when I saw the green shade just because I kind of had that moment of, well, what am I going to do with that? But I have it on today. I really like the look, and I think I'll get quite a bit of use out of this going forward. Then we have my two glitters. I love these. I use them quite a bit. This is from e.l.f. It is Flirty Birdie. It's sort of a rose gold, but definitely more on the gold side. And this is Ladybird from ColourPop. It is silver, sort of an ivory silver. Very pretty. Keeps, let's see, my NYX Ultimate Utopia. Obvious keep. This is actually my favorite palette that I own. This is new to me. This is the Shades by Shan duo that I got from Ipsy. I guess it's not that new to me. I've had it for about a month, and I've been using this shade quite a bit the last week or so and really enjoying it. I'm not quite as wild about this rosy shade, but it works well, and I'm definitely going to keep it around. I don't think I have anything that is super similar, so it is nice to have that little bit of variety. Look, this is not going to be a cutthroat declutter, so if that's what you've come for, sorry, hope I'll see you next time. My NYX Ultimate Edit in Ash, also keeping. Enjoy this palette. My e.l.f. 70s feels. I lusted after this palette for like 3 years, and I finally bought it, and I'm really glad I did. There is not a dud shade in this palette. They're all just really pretty little one shadow looks. Or what actually works really well with this particular palette is picking any of these 5 lighter shades and then sticking this dark shimmery brown in the outer corner. That turns out to be a really pretty, super easy, quick look. And I really like this too. Now there are some dud shades in this Wet n Wild 32 pan palette, but overall I enjoy it, and for the style of packaging, I'm not really interested in taking any of these shadows out, even the ones that are duds, and repressing them. I'll probably just leave them in and ignore them. I think that'll work really well for me. My Glam palette, I really like this. If you've been around a little bit, you know that. Here's what it looks like on the inside. 9 shades, very pretty. I actually use this quite a bit, even though I haven't owned it for that long. It's just a really nice, inexpensive palette option. Keeping. Okay, my e.l.f. quads. Now, I think I'm going to keep all 3 of these. However, this berry one is to some extent on the chopping block. I know that I like these 2, the pumpkin pie, which is the sort of warm brown one, and then hot jalapeno, which is the green and yellow. This one I'm just not as sure about. The quality is okay. It's not fantastic. I think when people talk about how good the e.l.f. bite-sized quads are, there's definitely an asterisk of for the price. This is really nice for a $3 eyeshadow palette. However, if I paid $20 for it, I would be pretty disappointed. And my biggest gripe with this is that these 2 metallic shades, I feel both look pretty orange, quite coppery on the eye, which isn't a bad thing, it's just not my preference. And they do look so nice in the swatch though. I'm keeping this, but I really want to make a point of messing around with it. Maybe I'll put, especially the 2 shimmery shades, in like the 5 tries to figure it out or something. And if it doesn't impress me, it can leave. I might repress this shade, but otherwise, I think it would be okay to go. I have my 2 Maybelline City Mini palettes. I have shades in both of these that I'm trying to pan this year. The sort of lilac rosy shade and this gold in Chill French Neutrals, as well as this lighter brown in Mad About Town. I've clearly made good dents in both of these. I really do like them, and I'm going to keep them around. I know this seems like a really useless declutter thus far, but there are reasons I'm saving these for the end. So next up we have my Wet n Wild Silent Treatment Quad. I really love this shade. It's clearly gone now. It's not because I've completely panned it. It's actually been repressed into here. It is that sort of darker shimmery taupe color. I really love this shade. I think it's very pretty. It's very flattering. And I do want to take all of these and I want to repress the other shades into individual single shadow pots. I want the transition shade and this shimmery shade, which I'm actually also trying to pan this shimmery champagne color. I would be okay with decluttering this shimmery black. It just, I have okay blacks. I don't think that I've ever felt a need to reach for a shimmery black over a regular black. And yeah, I just don't feel like it's really worth repressing. So this particular shade is going to get decluttered, and the quad packaging itself is going to be decluttered, but I'm keeping 3 of the 4 shades inside. Quite a similar story actually with this Wet n Wild quad in Petalette. The rosy shade, I use it as a blush quite a bit. It's very flattering on me. It looks super fresh. And I like these 2 shades as well. I really want, I think, to mix these in a pan when I repress. It just makes this beautiful pinky white highlighter, and I don't have anything quite like that. The dark purple, though, I would be fine with getting rid of. It's nothing special. So again, I will be getting rid of the quad packaging and 1 of the shades, but keeping 3. And then finally, my old favorite palette, the NYX Avant Pop in Nouveau Chic. Now, this palette has seen better days. I think you can tell by the fact that the lid is loose and I can't quite get it to line up again. Okay, we're not messing with that now. These 2 shades are repressed from other palettes, and they are actually both quite nice. This is kind of a dirty gold, and this is the taupe shade we were talking about from the Silent Treatment. It actually has a little bit of the black from the same palette mixed in. And the rest of this palette, I do want to pan this shade. And I really like this bronze as well as these 2 purples. But this brown, I think, can go when I repress. This dark shimmery purple can go when I repress. And I think that I will probably test out repressing methods with this blue and this green. I don't have anything super similar to this blue, and it is really pretty, but it just doesn't perform quite as well as it used to. I don't think it's expired. I don't get any irritation from it, but it's just not as impressive as it once was. And this green I like, again, but I have some similar colors. And it is also a little bit more on the powdery side than it was. I actually got this in January of 2017 also. It's a little bit older for me. And I do like this. I'm going to keep it for the moment, but I think that a few of the shades will be gone once I take things out and repress it. And finally, we have lip products. Here I know I can actually get rid of some things. Let's start with lip balms. I currently have 3 open. This one is the Ride or Die from e.l.f. It is tinted, it's peach, and I really like it, so that can stay. I have this Skin Iceland Berry Lip Fix. It is not tinted, and I'm not super thrilled with it. However, I'm going to finish it because I don't hate it. I don't know why I thought this was going to be tinted. I think based on the little purple lips and the fact that it was called the Berry Lip Fix, I just assumed it was going to be, but it's not. I was wrong. Nothing specifically told me it was. I was just reading too much into things. And then I have this Raspberry Soft Lips SPF 20 supposedly, though I'm sure that has long since expired. I have, I don't know, 4 or 5 applications left of this, so I'm going to finish that off, and then I will be down 1 lip balm. So not getting rid of anything in that category. Now for lip accessories, I have this old sharpener. Now I have not had anything that would have required sharpening in probably 3 years. And I specifically don't buy anything that requires sharpening because I never actually sharpen things. I just sharpen them once, use them 4 or 5 times, and then stick them in a drawer for 6 months until I decide to sharpen them again. So this can go. It's also got this pink gunk on it, which again, I haven't had anything that's required sharpening in years. So I think the unknown contents are just better left unknown. We don't need to think about that too much. I also think that this can be gotten rid of. This is from e.l.f. It is their lipstick remover, and it just doesn't look right. I'm not putting this on my lips. Yeah, that can go. That's older. I would say that's probably around 3 to 4 years old as well, and it definitely didn't look like that the last time I used it, so goodbye. Okay, so I think we're gonna do liquid lipsticks next. I have a few of those. These 3 from Sephora. I am definitely going to keep the nude and the very deep vampy color. I like these both a lot, and I don't have anything particularly like them. This red is kind of on the chopping block. I do like it. I've used it. It is a little bit different than the other reds that I have. However, it's not that different than the other reds I have. Though I think that I might actually get some use out of it because it is a liquid lipstick, and I think it might last all day a little bit better than my other red. Though this 999 lipstick actually does last really well throughout the day. Though this is a little bit more subtle, so I know that I'm making excuses, but I'm keeping it for now. But if I'm not using it, it may need to go fairly soon. This e.l.f. liquid lipstick in Tea Rose. This is not a matte liquid lipstick. It's more of a satin finish. It doesn't have that dry down. And it is completely unlike anything else I own. It looks kind of scary full on, but when I shear it out a little bit, so when I blot it down or when I mix it with other colors, I find that I actually really like the effect. So I'm definitely going to be keeping that one. This one actually kind of surprises me. Maybelline Ruler. I just think I'm going to get rid of this one. It's a little bit on the thicker side now, which might be because it's probably really close to expiring, but I mean, I haven't had this with me, and there wasn't a single time that I wished that I could have reached for it, even though this is definitely the time of year that I usually wear this. So I think this is going. I've had it for 2 years. Usually this is more of a fall winter shade for me. We're going into spring and I haven't wanted to wear it all of fall and winter, so guess so. I also have this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. I'm trying to pan this. I'm keeping it around. It's actually really pretty. As far as lip liner goes, I have one. It's from e.l.f. It's red. It has a bunch of junk all over it. Don't know why that is, but I'm keeping this. I really like it, and it makes my red lipsticks a lot more usable. So definitely important thing to keep around. Lip glosses, I currently have 2. I'm keeping Tiramisu. It is a pinky nude. This is such an easy shade to wear with so many of the lipsticks I own. It also looks really nice just by itself. Just very flattering. I think that I'm actually going to get rid of Vanilla Cream Pie. This is also getting a little bit older. This is just a hair over 2 years old at this point. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like Tiramisu does. It feels a little bit stickier. And I find this pink a lot harder to wear. So I think this can go. I don't think there's ever been a time since I got Tiramisu that I've really wanted to reach for Vanilla Cream Pie over it. So that is gone. Now, as far as bullet lipsticks go, I have 4 of these Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks. I have them in a variety of colors. I really like all of these. These are probably my favorite drugstore lipstick formula. They can all stay. I'm trying to pan this Maybelline Pink for me this year. It is a nudie pink, and it's also what I'm wearing today, though you can't see my face, so not of great help to you. In any case, I like it. It's staying. My Flower Rosy Garden lipstick. I was having a hard time with this for a while. Just the scent was giving me problems, but it seems to be okay with me now again. And I love the color, so I'm gonna keep that around. This Wet n Wild peach lipstick is completely unlike anything else I own. And it's really pretty, so I'll keep that around. These 3 Bite lipsticks are actually pretty new to my collection. I got these in November or December, and there's also not a whole lot left in them. I actually think that I could pan these this year if I wanted to, especially this shade, Sazerac. Honestly, I would be surprised if this is around by the end of the year. In any case, I'm keeping all 3. This Wet n Wild lipstick I think can go. This is the shade Dark Pink Frost, and it is frosty. I mean, I actually kind of like it in a swatch. I think it's pretty. I just don't think it looks good on my lips, and I'm not going to use it anywhere else on my face. I've tried it as a blush and it's just a little bit too much, so I think that one can leave. I really like Maybelline Almond Rose a lot. It's matte and it's a bit more bright than most of the nudie pinks that I have. And then I actually really love these Dior lipsticks that I got from Influencer, but realistically, even if I didn't, I probably wouldn't throw away a $40 lipstick. I know that's shallow, but I actually don't have an excuse for that. I know it's shallow and I'm fine with it. Okay, so not the most impressive or cutthroat declutter. Getting rid of one powder, a sharpener, and 4 lip products, but I'm pretty happy with it. I really do like everything else I own. I use everything else I own, and it was just time to do a little bit of spring cleaning. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you did, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing. Now I need to reorganize all my stuff. Oof. I'll get to that and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.